News out of the aviation sector now. The South African Cabin Crew Association is calling on government to help Mango Airlines fly again. The Air Services Licensing Council suspended the ailing airlines' licenses for 2 years. Mango has been in business rescue for the past year after it was grounded. Let's discuss this further then with the association's president, Zazi Nsibanyoni-Mugambi. Zazi, good evening and thank you for your time. So what happened here? Just recently I was reading that we are on the verge of, an investor being found. It's a consortium, it's looking promising, and Mango might take to the skies again. And then suddenly we have this suspension of licenses. What happened? Do you, as Labour, even understand what has happened?
Yes, I mean, we've been wrapping our minds around this the whole day, actually, from yesterday. We've been trying to figure out what is happening. Because in the letter from the Air Services Licensing Council, it's very clear that what they've done is suspended the license of Mango for a 2-year period. And our worry is that in that letter, it is very clear. There's no provisions or conditions attached to it to say, at least for this period, if you can fix certain issues, if you can get someone to fund, if you can get all the regulatory issues sorted out, your license can then be reinstated. The letter does not say that. And that for us is extremely worrying. And that's where our concern would come. And if it means that Mango is definitely suspended for a 2-year term and nothing can be done about it, then we would find that extremely punitive and anti-competitive, to say the least. So I think this needs a lot of clarity from the council to come out clearly and say, what does this actually mean? And if I was the bidder, I would be extremely worried. I mean, I'm about to finalize a deal to take over this particular airline, and all of a sudden I'm told that the license is suspended. So for us, it really has shocked us because we have around 700 people that on a daily basis call us and say, we're excited, we might get our jobs back after they'd been retrenched from Mango. And now that is sort of, they're not sure where their life stands. So it's a worry for us.
Yeah, in the aviation sector, usually the regulators don't take a decision like suspending a license too lightly. In your understanding, what are these non-compliance issues with the license conditions that have led to such a drastic step being taken by the Air Services Licensing Council?
Yes, I mean, it is very drastic in our view. And the reason that they give, and that's the only information that we have, is the fact that Mango has not operated for a 12-month period. And with that said, in just a year ago, we had other airlines that have been grounded for up to 23 months, but no licenses were suspended in terms of these particular airlines. So you'd expect that a similar courtesy be paid to Mango, or some sort of consistency in the way airlines are handled in this sort of, this sort of decision in terms of suspension of licenses. Because if that doesn't happen, I mean, it seems as if, we can then speculate and say, there's obviously a hidden agenda. We don't know whose interest they're acting under. And I think they need to come out and make it clear. Is it a full-on suspension with no recourse that can come from the business rescue practitioner? Or is it are there conditions that they can sort of meet in order to uplift the suspension?
Yeah, in fact, I saw reporting that quotes the business rescue practitioner saying that this decision is all quite strange and surprising to them as well, having come through in the manner that it did. And I suppose we have to wait and hear from the Air Services Licensing Council what the reasons are and how they justify the decision. But in the meantime, you believe that this could be a case of, in terms of how government works, the left hand not entirely being in tune with what the right hand is doing, because you're saying DPE, on the one hand, the Department of Public Enterprises is pushing around this issue of getting a new investor, but at the same time, the Air Services Licensing Council, falls under the Department of Transport, and it's taking this action. What next then for you as the South African Cabin Crew Association in light of that discrepancy that you point to?
Well, I want to just take you back. You would recall that the business rescue practitioner a year ago took a business model to the creditors committee to say Mango can take to the skies. And it's a business model that we had worked on that was going to be successful. And the DPE themselves and the board of SAA came and said, there's no way Mango is going to take to the sky. They must remain grounded until they can come with a bidder. And now, at a point, a very crucial point in finalizing this particular transaction, the council, which reports to the Department of Transport and, of course, is linked to the Department of Public Enterprise, has taken such, a decision. We believe that the Department of Transport and DPE can intervene to sort of sort out this glitch, if it's a glitch, and get some clarity to not only the creditors, but the bidders and us as employee representatives. And we can get some solace to know that there is a chance and Mango can go back to the sky and compete with what seems to be a monopoly that is emerging from the aviation industry in South Africa.
Yeah, in fact, that's the last point that I'd like you to speak to. Just because you have a direct interest in that you have these members that you represent, and you're talking about some 700 people who are, hoping that Mango will take to the skies again and they can get re-employed. But there's a broader impact that has to do with the aviation sector and competitiveness, as well as prices. For example, if you want to book and go to Cape Town, a lot of people are commenting about how expensive it all is. What's at stake here in terms of the aviation sector, competitiveness and the likes?
I mean, firstly, around our members, let's start there. Our members, the aviation industry has been decimated. So our members, as cabin crew mostly, are unable to find employment elsewhere. There's simply very few jobs for them. But in terms of the broader aviation industry, consumers can just, go try and book a flight to Cape Town. You've never seen the kind of prices that are out there. It's becoming almost impossible to actually fly. And the smaller the market becomes, the higher the prices, go. And not to allow Mango that space to be able to take to the skies, especially as a South African airline, which, by the way, is still a subsidiary of SAA until this transaction is finalized. We need to have more carriers. We don't want to hear about international carriers coming to take up to the skies. We need our own that will create competitive airline tickets for South Africans at large. And Mango had a huge chunk of the target market. And really, it would be an injustice for Mango not to be allowed to be taken over and allow the 700 people that are so desperately telling us on a daily basis, when is Mango taking back to the sky an opportunity? They must be allowed an opportunity to get their jobs back.
All right, I've got to thank you for your time and your insights here on SA Tonight. That's Zazi Nsibanyoni-Mugambi talking to us there about the situation at Mango Airlines and this decision by the Air Services Licensing Council to suspend the airline's licenses for 2 years. To be fair to the council, I would want to hear their side of the story. It really would be from the Department of Transport. Hopefully someone will be responsiveness, and come through, and just take us into your confidence, as we like to say, and just let us know what is the reasoning behind and what are the implications for the expected finalization of the bid process for someone to invest in Mango Airlines, with the stakes being as high as Zazi was describing there in that interview.